मैं हूं दिल्ली का सबसे फिल्मी लौंडा राज जोन्स और आज मेरे साथ मेरे शो पर 11 एक्सक्लूसिव मौजूद है वो बंदा जो कि बहुत खतरनाक है, बहुत ही जी फाड़ है, जिनसे मैंने सीखा है, जिनका रियल नेम है परमदीप सहदेव, पॉपुलरली नोन एज बॉबी फ्रिक्शन। तालियां! क्या चल पाजी?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Very happy to see you as well.
Same here, bro. So जैसे मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन दिया, I was really inspired by you. I was in 10th grade. एक एल्बम आई थी, फ्रिक्शन दी एल्बम। सो बहुत सारे लोगों को पता नहीं है कि यू आर अ रेडियो प्रेजेंटर, डीजे, BBC आर्टिस्ट। सो टेल मी अबाउट दैट।
Well, that was way back in, I think, 2004, 2005. I basically was doing my radio show on Radio 1, and the radio show at the time was about playing Punjabi music. When I say Punjabi music, I mean British Asian Bhangra, hip-hop, drum and bass, all kinds of music. You know, the thing I've always done is played multi-genre music, all right? And so basically, I first started working with this company in the UK called Ex-Atlantic Records, and they'd been brought in to music supervise the Bollywood movie boom. Okay,
Yeah.
I think if I'm right, Katrina Kaif's debut role. So all that happened was they asked me for some tracks, possibly that might work in India, and I gave them a lot of tracks, including at the time Punjabi MCs Mundion to Bach Gaya, okay, right? And I just kind of gave them music and didn't think too much of it. They said, your music supervisation is happening in a Bollywood movie. Then the movie came out and I didn't quite get it. They were like, the movie's not worked that well, but there's some really good press around it. A lot of controversial press because of the sexuality of the movie.
Scenes.
And then, and the scenes in the movie. And then on top of that, they said one track has basically been setting places on fire, okay? And that's Punjabi MC's Mundo and the Bachke.
And there was one track other also, I See You Baby.
Yes. I See You Baby, shaking that ass. But like a Desi version. So to cut a long story short, it works really well. I got signed to Sony Records in India, and they asked me to release these Friction albums. And once again, I'm in the UK, I'm getting calls going, I just walked into this record store in Chandigarh and your album's at #1. My other friends kind of sent me another call. Your album's at #1 in Mumbai. Someone else in Delhi emails me saying your album's at #1 in Delhi. And I was like, okay, all right. So that's what happened. And my relationship with India, which was before that through family, just became a business, musical, and a beautiful kind of connection.
Okay. So the album was super hit. Then part 2 came, volume 2.
Yeah.
उसके बाद कोई एल्बम नहीं आई?
Yeah, I think there was just a remixed version, which was like the best of 1 and 2 with a few more tracks. And I just think it's the way India operates and how I was operating at the time. You got to remember, I didn't have any big business plan to take over India or to do stuff in India. To me, I was just happy walking in, doing my radio show in the UK and coming back. So when the third album came out, I was just like, okay, well, that was a nice run. I did some really good gigs, I made a bit of money, and I carried on doing what I do. And in fact, I've been doing that since then. It's 2018 now. I'm still doing it 5 nights a week, still discovering music. And since there's so many things have happened, from British Asian music to even more electronica, EDM's come through, all this stuff's been happening. I'm at my happiest discovering new scenes, new music and playing it on the radio. Then I discovered Indian hip-hop, and I kind of feel like something's changing in the same way things changed when Friction, the albums came out. But this time, it's not about me, it's actually about something amazing happening in India.
And we will talk about it later. First, I want to know that you're a DJ, radio presenter. You're such a multi-talented man. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's just, I'm sure you know how things happen, you fall into them. With the DJing, I'd always been someone who loved music. And, out my group of friends, I was always the guy kind of going, listen to this Arabic beat. Yo, check out this music. I was basically at my happiest playing new music for a group of friends in a bedroom in London, all right? So when I then went to university, I explored a bit more music on my degree, and then I came back and the Asian Underground happened. This was the emergence of Talvin Singh, Nitin Sawhney.
Nitin Sawhney.
Yeah, exactly. So all of this stuff, that was interesting because a lot of that was electronic, Indian, desi music I'd heard for the first time. And I remember going, this is it. This is my scene. I've come back from uni. These guys are making music, the same music I hear in my head, but no one's ever recorded it. And I think there were many like-minded individuals who felt that way. So I started DJing, and even then, I kind of wasn't a great DJ. I'm still not a great DJ technically, but every time I DJ,
but you have made hit albums.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like nothing's ever been planned.
Okay.
It's just kind of happened, and I started DJing. Even that took off. I'd do a set, and I'd think that wasn't very good. Then someone would say, "Look at the audience. You had the biggest reaction all night." So then even the DJing started. Then I actually thought, look, I've loved playing music all my life. I'm in love with music. It makes me cry. I have an emotional connection with music. I'm now DJing, and even the DJing's working. I don't know why. And I remember thinking, because Radio 1 was the biggest station at the time, they had a hip-hop show presented by Westwood. They had an R&B show presented by Trevor Nelson. And I remember thinking, this station, if they ever do an Asian music show, I want to be the guy presenting it. Once again, God and the cosmos work in mysterious ways. By a series of left and right turns, I ended up presenting that show. And then I remember thinking, you know what, this is it. This is what I wanted to do all my life, and I'm going to continue. And that was, as I say, 18 years ago.
I also started listening to your music. Then मुझे पता लगा कि आप radio jockey भी हो, then radio presenter or radio jockey. Then I also inspired by you, and I also started doing such thing in India.
All right, good.
Exploring hip hop, desi hip hop especially.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you love the most, DJ or RJ?
Oh God. I think it's got to be the RJing, the presenting on radio. Just because with the DJing, you get older, you have kids. The music scene moves like this. In the UK, we're in a really weird time where the actual live music scene and the club scene has been shrinking for 10 years. It's quite a long story. It's got to do with capitalism and the way certain cities are being developed and the way music venues are closing down. But radio is growing. And everyone thought when the internet came, it would signal the death of radio. It hasn't. Then streaming started and everyone said, that's it now. No more need for RJs. But even that hasn't happened because anyone can listen to a playlist on a streaming service like Spotify, etc. That curation from a trusted music lover that you get on a radio show. You can't get that anywhere else apart from on radio. So big up radio.
We both are radio. अच्छा bro, कुछ time पहले आप मुंबई आए थे. You came to Mumbai to explore the Bombay rap scene. क्यों आए थे? मतलब you are sitting in UK.
Yeah.
You are playing every kind of music, every kind of song from different genre. So why you came to Bombay?
Well, we were going to come to Mumbai anyway, yeah? So the BBC was coming out. We came out as a team. Not just me, my colleague Harp Score, who does the breakfast show. That's a very mainstream show. It's perfect for that show to come out because this is where Bollywood is. This is where the entertainment industry is. The only reason I explored hip-hop wasn't because I had this thing in my head, we must explore hip-hop. It was just, well, if I'm going to Mumbai, let me look at my playlist. Dude. That's Krishna. Okay, there's Emiwe Bantai. Okay, oh yeah, this is happening as well. I'd already met Swadesi, the hip hop crew, and also Dopadelics.
Dopadelics, Seven Bantais.
Yeah, and I hadn't met Seven. I didn't meet Seven Bantais until this trip. But yeah, I met them last year when I played at a festival in Kamshep here in Maharashtra, and I just looked at my playlist and went, I now have all these new hip hop artists emerging. I had no idea they were also emerging in India. I just thought I'd picked up amongst all the millions of tracks being released in India. I'd picked up on some stuff. It felt exciting. We could hear it was exciting. So when we knew we were coming out, I said, I need to interview these MCs And at that time, particularly, it was Emiwe Bantai. I'd played one or two tracks from Bombay Local and also a few other tunes. That's why we kind of covered it as soon as we landed, and everyone went, but I've got this MC, you're going to meet these people in Dharavi, check out Dharavi United, speak to Poetic Justice, etc., etc., etc. And halfway through the trip, we realised this entire trip now is about this one genre, Indian hip-hop.
Okay. But you love the Bombay hip-hop scene? The Mumbai hip-hop scene?
Yeah, I love it, man. It feels like hip-hop in New York in the early 80s. It doesn't just feel like it's a scene. It feels like a revolution's brewing. It feels...
But they are making the scene, just like in the 80s in US. They are making the scene.
You know, like now you can say you got Atlanta hip-hop, you got hip-hop from the East Coast or West Coast. When it first started, hip-hop couldn't have really exploded without New York. Mumbai is India's New York in terms of its importance to Indian hip-hop.
But I was very angry you didn't come to Delhi.
Yeah, I know.
Because Delhi hip-hop scene is also growing and there are lots of good rappers in Delhi.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we didn't come to cover the Indian hip-hop scene, as I explained. We were just coming out to Mumbai.
Okay.
And then it was like, well, I'm playing a lot of Mumbai hip-hop. So when we come out next, if we come to Delhi, we'll cover it. If we don't come out as the BBC, I'll come out by myself. I'm a Delhi boy in the sense that my dad grew up in Baharganj. You know, my family are spread across the city. I spent my youth coming to New Delhi. I will definitely put my BDI directly right into the center of Delhi and pull my finger out and my eye out. And I'll do that soon. But I had to come to Mumbai first.
Okay. Yeah. Because Mumbai is more hip hop than other states in India.
It's not that it's more hip hop. It's the excitement is bigger. It's bigger in the city. It's bigger musically. They seem to be more adventurous. They're not just making party tracks. They're doing political tracks, social tracks, and also the ecosystem around hip hop in Mumbai is a lot more developed.
And all the elements of hip hop are seen here.
Yeah, the dancing, the graffiti, everything.
BMX, B-boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Beatboxers. There was only one rapper from Delhi, Prabdeep.
Yeah. But he's so hot. He's so good.
Yes.
And I've been playing him so much on my show. When we knew we were coming to Mumbai, it wasn't that we'll get him and the other Delhi rappers aren't any good. It was, we're in Mumbai. If this guy's going to be in Mumbai, let's put him in a live session, because my relationship with Pradeep's music was already a year and a half deep. And it just so happened he was going to be in Mumbai, and that's why we were like, get him in the session, you know?
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Now tell me, honestly, who's your favorite underground rapper from Mumbai?
Oh.
Don't give diplomatic answer.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Your favorite answer.
Look, my favorites can change from month to month, right?
Because you play lots of tracks on your show.
Yeah. I've got to say, right from the beginning,
Yeah.
the one guy I think has got so much charisma and he's so connected and seems unstoppable, honestly, is Emiwe Bantai. All right? And the reason for that is I'm not picking him above other artists. It's just that when I play him in the UK, away from India, and I play him to non-hip-hop heads, they'll listen to other stuff and go, that's great. Emiwe comes on, they'll go, what is this? You know, like #Sarab.
Yeah.
Doesn't just sound like a hip-hop track. It sounds like the Prodigy doing Indian hip-hop. When you listen to his flow, it's like a machine gun. Bang, 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 bang. And you can't take your eyes off him. So it's not that he's my favorite, but I swear to God, if he wasn't around, I'd be slightly less happier.
I got it. Acha,
And also, Shakespeare.
Yeah.
He's...
Bombay local, the guy from Bombay.
Yeah, from Bombay local. He, to me, feels like a dictionary, a political party, and also maybe even possibly a tortured artist, right? I just feel like, don't sleep on Shakespeare.
Okay.
There's a lot going on inside, and it's going to be coming out soon.
Okay. Lots of people or artist doesn't know that you play lots of track on your show.
Yeah.
MEV's Sadak. It was playing in UK.
Yeah.
Lots of people-
I made it my track of the week.
हाँ I know. वो हम बात करते उस टाइम पे कि मैंने बोला कि उसको बोला था मैंने कि भाई this is one guy in UK Boy Friction, he play all the songs. So तो वैसे ही मतलब बहुत सारे आर्टिस्ट जिनको पता नहीं है कि you play lots of underground stuff and you are exploring
Yeah.
this thing. So can you please tell them, the other artists, if they have a good track, just maybe-
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, you know, there are people right now who I haven't heard of because you haven't sent me your music. My job is to find the music, but even I make mistakes. I'll go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and not see your music, yeah? So you have to send me your music. Every Thursday I sit down and I listen for 2 to 3 hours, unsigned music, demos, tracks on YouTube, all kinds of stuff. And the thing is Anyway, took time out to send me his tune. That's how it got onto the BBC. That's how it got onto, you know, my show. If he hadn't sent me that tune, maybe I'd still be going, who is this Emiwe Bantai? So don't just sit there, send the tracks, send them to me. Don't send them via Instagram and via this, that and the other. Yeah, you can do that, but go to my socials, look for me, ask me what's the best email address and I'll give that email address and send me that.
Okay. You don't want to give the email address right now? Or
Go on then, go. It's just, you know, sometimes the email address spreads,
Okay.
and then suddenly you go from sitting down for 3 hours and you've got to sit down for 10 hours and you can't, and you're getting stuff from people, they haven't even finished the track. They just go, oh, you know what? We'll just do it anyway. I want people to finish tracks and find me on social media. I will respond. If they send me Bobby Friction, where can I send my track to? I'll give you the address.
Okay. So first finish your track, then contact Bobby
Yeah.
Friction. Is that cool?
Don't be sending unfinished tracks, all right?
Okay. I just saw your post on Instagram. You were on the sets of Gully Boys. What's happening?
So, Gully Boy, Zoya Akhtar's next movie, Ranveer Singh's next movie, loosely based on the lives of. So, Gully Boy, Zoya Akhtar's latest movie, and Ranveer Singh's next movie is a movie that draws in elements of the Mumbai hip hop scene. It's loosely based on the lives of people like Divine, the rapper, Midi Gully Mein, and also his partner Neezy at the time. So, yeah, I kind of feel like all the greatest music scenes also have great stories attached to them, stories away from the music. And if you look at Divine's emergence and his collaborations with Neezy back in the days, that is the kind of stuff that writes stories, and those stories then resonate and spread the music in the same way. The stories of Tupac aren't even just about his albums, they're actually about his personal life story. So, this movie is going to come out in 2019, and I was asked to do a bit of a cameo role in it as Bobby Friction, judging one of the rap battles.
That sounds great and cool. Achha, tell me, bro, do you listen to Delhi hip hop scene? Do you know about Delhi hip hop scene?
I mean, I know some of the artists, as I say. I've heard Pradeep, there's other artists that have dropped into my inbox. What I do find with a lot of Delhi hip hop is a lot of it's party. A lot of it's linked to not so much Bhangra, but the Punjabi music scene. What I really want to hear, and maybe this is where you can educate me, because I need education as well. You can educate me on the real underground stuff coming out of Delhi. That doesn't just sound like, oh, it's underground for underground's sake. You know, when I say underground music, a great song that works on radio still has a great hook.
Yes.
It's still a song. You get me?
Yeah. Okay. Paji, I watch your interviews, which you did on UK, on BBC. So I have less information about UK hip hop scene. Can you tell me more about UK hip hop scene? What's happening in UK right
And
now?
I think what you're talking about is obviously the Desi rappers out there.
Yeah.
If you just want an overview of UK hip hop, grime is king or queen. Grime is royalty. All the grime artists who have been making this music for the last 10 years, this uniquely British music, are royalty now. And what's been really mad about grime is grime was just another genre coming out of Britain. In fact, it got a lot of bad press when it came out, and there were a lot of haters. There were a lot of people going, this UK sound, it's a bit cheap sounding. You know, the same attacks that hip hop in America got. This ain't real music. Where's the instruments? Who are these guys? They're just shouting into a microphone. What's really weird is when grime came out, hip hop heads gave grime the same treatment. Oh, but you know, now we're real hip hop. You know, backpacker hip hop. We tell stories. We're political. You know, we when we play, we got 2 turntables and a microphone, but we also know how to play with live music.
Yeah.
Who are these? Quite literally, gully boys. To translate an Indian phrase, who are these gully boys from the Council Estates of Britain? Why are they making music? But actually, time and time again, it just shows that immense creativity comes out of A, poverty, and B, urban settings and urban dwellings. So grime slowly but surely built up, and I would say, I mean, at the moment it rules, but for the last 3 years, it went from being underground to being alternative. So it's getting played everywhere, but it still wasn't. It's now the top 10. It's as popular in the UK as hip hop is in America, and the nationwide stars of the UK are all coming out of the grime scene. It's completely destroyed guitar music, indie music, all this other stuff. So that's what's happening in UK generally. In terms of Desi rappers, honestly, we're at a really weird juncture in the road now. We've got more Desi rappers than any time in our history. Half of them, though, are only making grime music, which isn't a problem, but it kind of is just being eaten up by the grime scene. Then you've got your British Asian rappers, whether you want to mention Rackstar, there's people like Taz, there's other people coming out of the UK right now, and even for them, I feel like they're a bit lost. Not as individuals, but the scene's a bit lost. They're not sure whether they want to make tracks that feed to the Bhangra Massive. They're not sure if they want to make tracks that are British Asian, but actually quite commercial, therefore destroying the intensity of the underground. Some of them are just making grime and basically not pulling their culture into their creativity. So it's a bit of a weird time right now. And honestly, I'll be straight. I'm like, I'm like a fly. I'm like a monkey, all right? I'm like, zzz, all right. Zzz, and at the moment, I've gone zzz, Mumbai. So I'm waiting for the UK scene. It doesn't have to sound like Mumbai. It doesn't have to be anything to do with the Mumbai hip hop scene, but to be as exciting as what's going on in Mumbai at the moment.
So it's more exciting in
for me, 10 times, 20 times more exciting.
In Bombay hip hop scene or in Bombay hip hop scene?
Yeah. In Bombay, in India generally. And Pakistan. Pakistan's got some great artists, hip hop artists coming out.
Yeah. Who's your favorite rapper from the UK hip hop scene right now?
UK hip hop, as in Desi UK hip hop, or just
Desi also and the Ferengis also.
Well, whatever phrase you want to use, I love J Hus. And what I really like about J Hus is even though he was a grime artist, he's now a pop artist who's still grime, and actually he's blurred the lines between rapping, singing, vibesing. His music's blurred the lines between grime, Afrobeat, American US style hip hop, and pop music as well. So J Hus is just a personal pick. I'm just in love with him right now. And then in terms of UK artists, and he's not a rapper, but still Bangles is running things right now, and he's the bridge between the grime scene and also the Asian scene. Still Bangles has a Punjabi heritage. He's done stuff, he's worked with Jazz Dummy, the Punjabi singer, but then he's also working with literally the top 10 grime MCs in the UK. So still Bangles, there wouldn't be a scene without him at the moment.
I saw the interview of Steve Bangles. Okay, I got you. I was seeing your pictures or your posts on BBC in your personal. When Basha Bhai did a concert, then Divine, Nazy, DMC, what was the response over there when BBC concert happened?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so you're talking about Asian Network Live.
Yeah.
The response, you've got to split two ways. One's the response to Divine, the other response is the response to Badshah, okay? So the Badshah response was unbelievable. This was 2 years after Abhi To Party Shuru Hui Hai, and also basically at the height of his fame, he came in and basically destroyed all the UK artists and actually basically pulled together every type of Desi music. You had the hip hop fans going, Badshah's on stage. You had the Bollywood aunties going, oh my God, it's Badshah. And it was a party. He brought the party times 1,000. On the other side, you had Divine. I still think that performance, I'm not saying it was too early, because you don't just wait until someone's big to book them. There were a lot of people going, we don't know this guy, but this beat is amazing. What Divine did, coming out and doing really well, not blowing away, but doing really well in those UK gigs, was he opened up the space for the UK consumer and the UK public to jump into Indian hip hop. So because of that, when Gully Boy comes out, when more and more albums and singles come out of Mumbai and Delhi and the rest of India and Pakistan, it will be Divine's hard work in the UK that opened it up for them.
Okay. And what about Nizi?
Yeah, I think the thing with Nizi is he's not really been around for a while now, and I think that's not helping him. Because if you speak to most people in the UK, if you say, what's an Indian rapper? They'll say Honey Singh, and they'll say Badshah. At a push, they'll say Divine, but 99% of people won't know who Nizi is, and I think that's because it's not that he hasn't got any hustle. I'm sure he's working really hard. It's just not translating and emitting and transmitting at the moment.
Okay. And right now he's also not in the scene.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
But he will be back.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. So Paji, we are doing an interview. As a radio presenter, you have taken lots of interview. So tell me, who's the coolest celebrity you have done interview, and who's the hardest?
Oh God, this isn't the stuff you usually think about because you don't remember the hardest. You just forget about it. Oh God, I've just done too many. I really enjoyed Jasmine Sanders recently because she's such a force of nature and she's really open. I think in terms of the worlds of Bollywood, one of the most ridiculous interviews I ever did was I interviewed Anil Kapoor.
Okay.
I was in the UK, it was on the phone, he was in India. Now, I'm not accusing him of being drunk. All I'm saying is it was late at night, India time, I think around about 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And to me, he sounded like he'd had a drink or two. Or to me, he sounded like he just didn't give a shit anymore. And it was great. He was literally shouting and laughing at his own jokes. He didn't realize my age. He was going, you're young, you won't know what I used to do. And I was going, no, I did. He started going, shut up. Do you know you were in your mother's womb when I was famous? And I was thinking, don't bring my mother's womb into the interview. And secondly, I was born. I'm old enough to remember you first time around. But he was like really fun. I'm not having a go. It was one of the funniest and most ridiculous and crazy interviews I've ever done.
Okay. Tell me, who's your all-time favorite Punjabi artist, hip-hop artist, and Bollywood singer?
All right. So Punjabi artist, all-time favorite Punjabi artist, it would definitely be it'd be a real competition between Gurdas Mann, Satinder Sartaaj, who's not been around that long, but who is just amazing. And I am now going to put Jasmine Sanders in there, because she's amazing. She manages to hold up the Punjabi vibe, respect the actual rules and the beauty of Punjabi music, but she's smashing through those rules at the same time. Gurdas Mann, it's kind of like saying, you don't like Gurdas Mann, you don't appreciate what he's done for Punjabi music, you don't actually like Punjabi music. And Satinder Sartaaj brought the Sufi vibe back. Not that it's ever gone, but he made it center stage. So that's that. In terms of hip-hop artists, I think when it comes to hip-hop, oh my God, this is so hard.
I love to make it hard.
Huh?
I love to make it hard.
Yeah. I think when it comes to hip-hop artists, you've got to, for me and my age group, and impact on my life,
Okay.
it was NWA at the
Maybe
time.
also that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't say the N-word in the
Yeah.
UK, all right?
Yeah, I know,
And
sir.
I've noticed lots of people in India do,
Yeah.
but that's a discussion for another time.
I will beep it.
So NWA changed me because I'd already listened to Public Enemy, and Public Enemy changed my life. I brought lots of hip hop 12 inches,
Yeah.
but the first hip hop album I brought and played all the way through, apart from De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising, which was beautiful as a funk hip hop and game changing album. Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. I brought that, I listened to it all the way through for a year, and it changed my view on music. And it really, really changed my view on the power of hip hop. Until then, I thought hip hop was powerful because it was black. What they did was they took the black struggle, the African American struggle, and put it in the center of their music. And I think they showed that a musical genre can actually change society. And then when NWA came out, who didn't have the politics in your face like Public Enemy, but actually said, we'll be political like Shakespeare, we'll be political like Charles Dickens, because we'll write rhymes that describe our life. We'll even spice them up a bit. We'll even basically rhyme them up a bit and create compelling stories. So to me, NWA and Public Enemy, even though we're going back quite a few decades now, hip-hop wouldn't be where it is today, politically, socially, spiritually, and most of all, with its narrative storytelling, without those two bands.
So easy. And what about your
Bollywood.
favorite all-time Bollywood singer?
Oh, wow. Okay, so, a favourite all-time Bollywood singer. No matter how, I'm going to say his name, and you're going to smile. And some people watching this are going to go, because that's what he gives off, all right?
Oh.
But when you look at what he's done for Bollywood from the beginning of time, when you actually realise how much of a sonic warrior he was, especially back early in the day, you sit there and you go, dude, you're like a superstar mixed in with one of the best producers ever. His production game changed the game in the same way Nile Rodgers did, okay? I'm talking about Bappi Lahiri.
He's the legend. He's my favorite.
Like, you hear some of that early electronic disco, and you're like, that sounds unbelievable. How did you mix that down? How does that sound so electronic when, to be fair, everyone else was using Bollywood orchestras? So Bappi Lahiri, amazing singer, amazing producer, which is why I picked him. And that whole era from like the early 80s is amazing. In terms of the modern era, I really like Vishal Dadlani. I like what he does because even though some of it moves into the realms of real mainstream Bollywood music,
Yes.
his days in Pentagram, you know, his days in being a rock and roll star means even when he's singing cheesy stuff, you know he's being ironic. He's almost like subverting the actual form. There's too many in Bollywood, but yeah, even once again with this singer, his voice is unbelievable when it's in good form, and that's Sukhvinder Singh.
He's a legend artist.
Yeah.
They work with Rahman Sahab so much. I love him.
And you know what? I think he's bonkers. I think he's mad. I don't mean I think he's mad as in put him in you know, section him in a mental asylum. But he's like all the greatest artists. He's definitely not normal and just straight down to earth. I've seen pictures of him at airports looking like some Hollywood actress, not actor, with a little dog in his bag going, "Get out of my way, darling." And I'm just like, this guy's on one. And his voice is unbelievable. I love you, Sukhvinder.
Okay. And your all-time favorite DJ? Because you also a DJ.
All right, DJ as in DJ in the clubs?
DJ in the not in clubs because मुझे तो पता नहीं है clubs के बारे में. In Bollywood, in
RJ.
Bollywood or in UK say.
Okay.
In scene. Right now, Nuclear is doing very well.
I was about to say Nuclear just because when the Bandish project
Yes.
were the original Bandish project, they were Mayur and Udayan. and they came to visit me in London when I was on Radio 1, and I heard their music, and I just remember going, and they were in Dubai at the time actually, and I remember thinking, these boys from Dubai are the first people I've heard to mix Bollywood with true electronica, and this was around the time of the Friction album. To see both of their journeys since then, Udayan becoming this superstar DJ and getting, I wouldn't say more commercial, but really subverting the Bollywood form. And then Mayer, who's gone even more abstract, even more underground, to the point where you're like, this is like futuristic sci-fi, classical Indian Kathak robotics, you know? So I would say definitely both of the old Bandish projects, Nuclear and Mayer.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh. Tell me, what is the future of hip hop scene in India?
I think the hip hop scene will go either one of two ways, or go both ways at the same time. One way is it explodes and it becomes the definitive Bollywood form of music. So you'll still have underground hip hop, but Bollywood itself will have to do what it does all the time: catch up and go, okay, here the producers we work with, we want 10 raps for this movie. The other way is it becomes the most important Indian musical form in decades. The political side, the fact that it's the music of the working man, the kids on the streets, literally the kids on the streets. So it will either be swallowed by Bollywood, but it will still be great because Bollywood itself will become a hip hop machine, or it will become the music of the 21st century, previously oppressed workers and those kids as they get older, that generation of Indians, or it will be both. Either way, it's not disappearing anytime soon.
Okay. And जाने से पहले, I want to know, what are your future projects?
I don't know. I'm just still doing my stuff on the radio. There's a couple of plans. First of all, I'm just going to be playing more Indian hip hop and Pakistani hip hop. I really want to do something with India and Pakistan together, whether it's Pakistani MCs ciphering up against Indian MCs, maybe either in India or Pakistan, or maybe we have to go to a neutral country like Britain to get it done. But I really want to see an India versus Pakistan cipher. Also,
After cricket?
Huh?
After cricket?
Yeah. I mean, this is. I think cricket's too emotional. Cricket's a substitute for war. All right. And even though people think ciphering is a substitute for war, I think it takes the weapons out of war and makes our mouths the weapons and our words the bullets. So let there be war between Indian and Pakistani MCs, and let it be an intellectual and a beautiful war fought with words, and not about religion, not about politics, but just about skills.
And it will be a war of words.
Yeah.
So bro, मैंने आपको पहले बताया था कि आपसे मैं बहुत इंस्पायर हुआ आपको देखकर. I started doing interviews and radio and all. So first time you are on my show. I call myself दिल्ली का सबसे फिल्मी लौंडा राज जोन्स. कैसा लगा मेरे शो पर आकर?
I think it's very interesting, and when you start speaking Hindi, your mouth itself is a machine gun. Your mind works at 1,000 miles an hour, and those variables, my friend, are the perfect ingredients to become the greatest radio presenter in India, bro, my man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You are on my show. It was a great fun. I loved it, and all the best for your future. Future में अच्छा काम करो और जी फाड़ काम करो.
Of course, man.
You know what is the meaning of जी फाड़?
It's like tear it up.
Yes. Thank you, sir.